Hi everybody, this is a video to replace the one that I recorded last week, but which did not have any sound for some odd reason. So I apologize for the inconvenience, and just a quick recap of that other video. Basically, what I would like to draw attention to is the necessity to write learning objectives which are observable and measurable. As you have probably seen in my comments on the learning objective drafts, one thing that I emphasize there throughout is the need to, on the one hand, not promise too much to the client, and on the other hand, keep in mind that these learning objectives, as our book suggests, have to be measurable and observable and tangible. Some of this challenge has to do with using verbs in your objectives that encourage and promote that measurability and observability. For example, as some of you said, we're kind of used to using verbs like understand, know, and such. These are a little vague. If you follow the advice of Carl Leiner's book, he suggests using verbs that are more actionable, such as carry out, perform certain tasks, and things like that. So as you revise your objectives, just keep in mind the need to make them focused, make them observable, make them measurable. They don't need to be grand, they don't need to be huge. In fact, I think the project you're creating is pretty small in size, frankly, and so I would rather we have 3 objectives that are narrow, well-focused, and measurable than the 3 objectives that are kind of broad and promise too much. Related to that is the issue of assessment. I think we need to give some thought, not too much thought, but some thought to how we're going to assess the success of this project for ourselves. A few of you have suggested using some kind of pre-test and post-test strategies. I'm skeptical about that technique, frankly, with writing, because I know of a lot of research that demonstrates that pre-test and post-test things get influenced by a lot of other factors. Writing takes time to develop, writing proficiency takes time to develop, and so what you end up having if you do a pre-test and post-test, you may get good results, which seem to suggest that your trainees have improved because of your training, but in fact some other factors may have influenced their performance. On the other hand, your pre-test and post-test may end up giving you kind of disappointing results, and you might say, well, my training doesn't work, but at the same time, what it does not take into account is that other factors such as the timing of the training, the preparation of the trainees beforehand, and all these other factors may have influenced their performance. So in a word, the pre-test, post-test method for assessment could perhaps be used as some kind of a supplement for other methods, but I would caution you against using it as the main method of assessment. The other issue, of course, is that we simply may not have time to assess formally how well our programs have worked in this case, because the class will be over at the end of April, and unless you decide to work with the clients on your own somehow after that, I don't see how we can set up assessment routines with them. So what I would suggest here for assessment, I would really suggest following Carl Leiner's advice as far as just assessing the effectiveness of the training. How well have the materials been written? How well have they done what you said they would do, instead of assessing the quality of the writing produced by the client as a result of using your materials. So then the focus of assessment becomes on the training materials that you've created. And those can be assessed in a number of different ways. I would suggest maybe a brief exit survey if you would like to create one and administer it to your client at some point. I could also see kind of just maybe a quick and formal interview with your client if you have time for that. So again, when you think of assessment, don't think that you have to necessarily assess the quality of the writing that comes out of the client's organization. Think about your training materials as something that is being assessed. So that's pretty much it, and we are entering into the creation of the learning activities stage. And so I look forward to seeing those. Thank you very much, and as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. Bye-bye.